skill, and talent can be developed through hard work, good strategies, persistence, dedication, and input from others. Where focus goes, energy flows. So focus your energy on continuous learning and stop wasting time thinking about looking smart. Build resistance, build vulnerability, build courageousness, and face adversity with a smile. Become comfortable with uncomfortable. You know, the only person that you need to prove anything to is you. Imperfect action trumps perfect inaction. Stop wasting time and get on with it. Failure is part of learning, so start learning by taking action.
Kristian Livolsi, we are back. This is the hot seat. It is 2023 and January is actually already gone. How are you?
I am. I'm running around a little crazy at the moment, so it's a bit chaotic. Just trying to. I'm working out. I just been back to back. I've just picked up one of the kids, taken them home, and then gone. Right, I'm meant to be on this.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to quickly set up everything at home. There's painting that still isn't even hung behind me. So yeah, I probably need to hit my whiskey cabinet at some point.
Oh gosh, I think so many people, so many business owners, so many parents can relate to this. Now we've moved our hot seat time. We were coming to people last year in the middle of the day, and we thought, let's try and catch people as they're leaving the office, as they're having a little bit more time to jump on social media and have a chat and listen into what we're doing. So with that comes the unprediction of everything that may happen in the background for both of us. We've both got our kids at home. It is getting closer to dinner time here, so mine are getting a little bit hangry. We're hoping to get through this live without too much chaos in the background.
We'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get going.
Tell me, how has January been for you? Because we're done. We're a month into 2023 already. Let's share with the audience a little bit about how January's unfolded.
January for us was a monumental month. I'm a big believer that while everybody else is sleeping, taking holidays, I pounce. So as a group, we pounced and we rolled out a new product called Customers on Demand. We onboarded 10 people in the first week. That generated more than most people earn in a year for us in a very short period of time. So that was one thing. We're finally on the move and opening up in Vancouver, and that's all going. Jamie just landed about 2 hours ago, so we'll be signing some deeds, and then the advisory firm has had its biggest month in 4 years. So so I basically got no holidays. I think it was 3 days off Christmas.
Huge month.
And I've been in 3 states, some twice. Yeah, I think I've done 8 flights already this month alone. 9, 10. So it's good. Like, I'm not complaining. I love it. It's what I love doing, and we've really been able to help a lot of people do the same in the month of January. So that's probably the most rewarding part. It's all great when we're making money, but I don't want to make it sound arrogant, but we always make money because we're in the business of making money for others. So as long as we do our job, then we always make money. And you know me better than anyone. I take that very, very seriously. So we are talking about money today, right? I've got a feeling this is where we're going.
Yes, and welcome, Osbay. Thank you for tuning in. Now, Osbay was at our live event in December at our marketing event, so great to have you joining us. Now, we've obviously kicked off the year so strong. We finished off last year teaching and telling people all about their marketing efforts and how to kick off this year strong. And we're going to talk about cash flow today, because I think this is a really interesting topic around whether people have been really relaxing and taking some time out over the end of December and into January. Cash flow can be something that is either really great right now, or it could be really low right now. So I thought this was be a good topic to kick the year off with. So as always, I have 3 questions. You've got 2 minutes on the clock to answer them. My first question for you, Kristian, is why is cash flow important to understand? So we hear a lot of people talk about balance sheets and profit and loss. You talk a lot about cash flow. So I wanted to dive into that today and just, break it down for us. Why is it so important?
Well, I mean, let's look at some cash flow basics, right? That'll help people understand my way of thinking. Cash comes into any business through a variety of channels to sustain the operation and also the daily running of a business, okay? So the difference between the cash coming into the business and leaving the business remains as a profit or a buffer for what we would call future investments into the business, so the growth. Now, the aim of the game is to always increase and leverage as much as possible the cash coming into the business, and then limiting the amount of cash that's coming into the business, and then limiting the amount of cash leaving the business. Okay, and that's really important to understand. So cash ins are always, making sales, selling your product or service, and you've got chargeables essentially, right? And the cash is expenses, marketing, wages, contractor fees, renting assets, software, hardware, subscriptions. I mean, the list bloody goes on with the amount of money that can actually exit your business. So I believe that cash flow is king, right? Because without it, you cannot live. You cannot function. I've been looking at some statistics, Simone. 50% of businesses that closed last year were profitable. They closed down because they ran out of cash. So when you ask me the question, why is cash flow important to understand? Well, the answer is simple. You cannot exist without cash. So all business owners out there, stop focusing on your bloody profit and loss sheet. Most of you don't know how to read a balance sheet. I'm not trying to be offensive. It took me 10 years of being in business and failing to learn what a balance sheet actually was. And now as an independent chairman of companies, I have to know my balance sheets in and out, particularly all my liquidity ratios, etc. But cash flow statements, understand the money you got coming in and out, and even at a basic level, inflows, outflows.
Yeah, I think that's really important. And I love what you touched on there, because it's something that, in my previous accounting career, you hear a lot of people talk about this as well, saying, but there says my profit, saying on paper that I've got profit, then how come there's no money in the bank? And that's
because you're spending it.
Yeah. Too true. Okay, our second question is, how often should you review your cash flow statements?
All right, my favorite question, and everybody's going to hate on me, daily. Simple. Right? Prepare a quarterly cash flow statement or a cash flow budget that tells you what your inflows and outflows are going to be based on what you know you're going to get in and what you know you're going to spend out. It's always the truth. Don't just make up numbers, and don't listen to your marketing department telling you they're going to get you 1,000 leads when all they're going to get you is 20, right? So really, what is realistically coming in and what's realistically going to go out. Then you know what you have to make. It sets a very clear expectation. But all of you have, I don't know where you've been living or how old you must be, maybe 120 if you don't have a smartphone that has a banking app. Now, conveniently, I bank with one bank, not necessarily for loans and other bits and pieces, but where all my money comes in, one bank, okay? And therefore, I've got one app that I can open up every day, and I can check how much money is in there. Then I click on it and I check every day how much money is going in and out. My finance manager thinks that I'm absolutely insane. My accountant wonders how I remember all the bank accounts. And what it is you start to train yourself. Your brain is very intelligent. You might not be, because you're not training your brain. Okay. We had Dr. John DeMartini on a couple of episodes ago. I mean, what a powerhouse. Listen to the podcast.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
I never listen to podcast episodes after I film them. I've been playing that in the car because so many of my audiences have messaged me saying, wowzers, amazing. And so I thought, let me go back. And I'm like, okay, wow, there's so much gold here. And one of those is that we can train ourselves to be better, to be smarter, to be wiser. Just got to put in the effort. So cash flow is all about training your brain to register those results. So I would say daily.
Mm-hmm. Right on time. Can I just say, just go.
Yeah, I was going to let you beat me
catching you out. First week back for the year. I thought, come on, I'm going to get you out of the timer eventually.
Oh, you caught me out in the first question.
So much out of that comes about the awareness, right? And we've talked about this in our closed groups before. It's like subscriptions are the new credit cards. And it's so easy to sign up for these things. And all of a sudden you don't really remember that you're paying for them. So when you're looking at your bank accounts, obviously you're spotting these little things and thinking, far out, I need to turn that off. What am I even paying for that? I'm not even using that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So my last question is, what is the best way to improve your understanding of cash flow? If you've really got no idea, if you know you're not doing this properly, what would you recommend to people to do to get a better understanding?
I don't know how to explain it any simpler than this. Look at your bank accounts every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Start tracking. Most people that are listening to this podcast have one business.
Mm-hmm.
I have 7. And I also coach and advise another 50 people. Right? So if I can do it, anyone can do it. And all my clients do it. And when they first start with me, most of them didn't even look at cash. And these are really successful business owners. As our value is, we take good people to great. Very rarely do we try and work with people that aren't already good. And yet it's never surprises me how many good people don't look at their cash flow. They look at their P&L and they boast to me about it when they want to work with me. They're like, oh, look at that. We're making $1 million profit. I'm like, great. How much cash you got in the bank? Oh, I don't know. And then they have a look at it and they're like, okay, how much? Oh, 90 grand. You're doing a really good job, aren't you? And they look at me and they're like, oh, wow, I got told you were like this. I said, don't boast to me about how much profit you're making. I could show you profit margins that would blow your mind, and not my companies, like clients. But then I'd show you their cash account, and then you'll be like, whoa, right? So the reality of it is just track what goes in your business each day and what goes out, and you'll start to see patterns. And that's the secret here. Look for the patterns. So if you're trying to understand or get a better understanding, don't go looking for it. Don't Google it. Just start looking at what comes in and what goes out and track it over the course of 30 days. You'll be surprised at the gold that you will find in things that you're paying for that you're like, wow, look at that. I was paying $50 in that subscription. I haven't used it in 2 years. So congratulations for listening to the Business Life hot seat, because you just probably made $50 by just being here, right?
Yeah.
So,
it's so easy to get caught up in thinking, well, I need a spreadsheet for this, or what piece of software am I going to use to track, when it can just be as simple as open up your banking and look at it. Like, you don't have to get super technical.
Correct. Could you hear my kids then screaming?
No.
I mean, this house is pretty much soundproofed, and I'm on the far end of the house, and I could hear them all screaming. I'm thinking, school holidays are back. And how did I ever survive working from home for 2.5 years? Can anyone remember what it was like during COVID trying to work from home? It's amazing, isn't it? When you're not used to something, and I was working from home before COVID. So I could never understand why everyone had all these pressure pains. But now that I haven't worked from home for 2 years, and we've got offices everywhere, and I'm on planes, not even wearing masks, right? It fascinates me. Like, even that just irritated me. I was like, what is going on? And then my brain just clicked and went, oh, you have forgotten, you poor soul. You've forgotten what it was like. Look at the things that you learned on this show. Wonderful.
We have a massive, and it's so nice that you get to travel with your family as well. And we saw that you took them to Melbourne on your business trip last week, which is awesome. Making the most of mixing business and pleasure. And this is something you talk about quite often. That is, when you're on purpose and you really love what you do, then you find a way to integrate it into your family lives, and showing that there isn't a difference between family and business. It does become part of one. And it's quite funny that my now 9-year-old son has already asked for a job with you, Kristian, when he's old enough. When he turns 14, he wants to come and work with you. So
we'll find a job for him. Don't worry.
It's so important to realize how we are influencing our family members around us, and not just business people and other people in our communities, but it is a roll-on effect for everything. So we've got a massive year of 2023 planned. We're going to be jetting all over the place very, very soon.
We are. We if someone is still listening, I can't wait. StreamYard, you're finally getting the kick in the butt, right? We have already got a new software kit, just that no one knows how to use it.
Yes.
And there might be fancy camera angles too. But the reality of it is, yes, we decided that we are going to go live events. So many people message our team saying, "Where's Kristian going to speak live? What's he going to do? What about, and we had this really successful Marketing for Growth event in Sydney. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to be able to help more people, people who didn't have $1,100 to attend? What could we give them? So I'm doing what I do best, spending money, right, to help people. So we are doing a completely free event in Melbourne, Adelaide, and Sydney. We're doing a matinee and an evening session. It sounds like it's theatrical. There's no theatre, trust me. There's not going to be a crazy amount of fancy lights or any of that crap. That just becomes way too expensive. But it's a free event. It's somewhere on our website, I think, or there's links everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we've pretty much got half the room booked already within 1 week in each state. So that's pretty amazing. But it's how to sell more with social media. And I've got not just myself. I'll be speaking. Adrian Lee will be speaking, and Bonnie Louise will be speaking. We're the three presenters for the Marketing for Growth event, and we thought we'd give people the basics of what they need to start scaling on social media. Lots of our competitors out there will sit there and preach social media. We're just going to give you the hard-hitting facts of what you need to do, and then you can take it away with you and make money. For those of you who want to sit at the front, those of you who want a copy of my book signed by me, we've got a VIP ticket that gives you a whole bunch of extra value, plus a recording of the event, so you never miss out on anything. You get a workbook as well, and a couple of extra cheat sheets and other bits and pieces, and that's what, $47. So I think that's what we're selling, more paid tickets than we are at the moment. Free tickets, which I was fascinated by, but it's going to be pretty amazing. So if you're new to business or you're established and you're a business owner, then this is for you. And I love meeting people that listen to my content. It always excites me. And so that was the driver behind it. We've never done live events like this for free. So absolutely, you've never heard what I'm about to tell you and what Adrian's going to tell you and what Bonnie's going to tell you. I recently saw someone promoting their event, claiming that they're going to be teaching a system that they've never taught before. And I'm thinking, you've been running this event for 10 years. So you've taught the system so many times, right? We won't give you any of that fancy jargon. It's basically, this is brand new. And it's stuff that we've done over and over and over again and done it successfully. So I've done it in 79 of my own ventures, at least in the ones that worked, not so much the ones that didn't work. But ultimately, we are going to be sharing that with you, and we'd love to have you there. So, the opportunity is now. Life won't wait for you, right?
Exactly.
So if you need help, or you have a burning desire to just learn how to use social media more advantageously to help you grow your business, in some cases, scale at 10x, the buzzword. I'd like to say 20x for startups. 50x, if you start from $1, it's a pretty low baseline. We'll get you to $50. I'll just give you $50 on the day and say I scaled you 50x. Yeah, right? But the reality is that's all bullshit, right? Your business is only as scalable as the systems that you've got in place, and hopefully we'll share some of that with you give you some intelligence that you can take away and make money. And I'd love to see you there. So, Simone, maybe in the recording, the post-recording show notes, we can put the dates.
Absolutely. We'll drop the link in the comments across all of our social platforms that this podcast is going along to. So feel free to get in quick because we are definitely selling out very, very fast. So Kristian Livolsi, welcome back. We've already been back, but welcome to everyone who's joining us for February. It's great to have you all here with us. Please like, share, and comment if you got any value out of this video, and we'll be bringing you hot tips every week. So all of this information comes from our polls that we put up on LinkedIn. So we appreciate all of the effort that everyone goes into to comment and to provide feedback, because this is where we are bringing you the value as well. So have a wonderful evening. It is time to clock out to go and have the dinner madness and get the children into bed. And we will be back next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Kristian Livolsi, always a pleasure. We'll chat to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Are you ready to start taking action on your business? Would you like to spend more time with your family? Then call 1300-643-229 and start building momentum right now. I know you're busy. In fact, you are so busy that you don't have time to work on your business or yourself. Often tossing and turning at night, worrying about the how-tos and the cash flow. How on earth can you possibly get off the hamster wheel so that you can take a helicopter view to see where you'll be in 90 days, 1 year, or 3 years from now? In this program, I will take you from sleepless nights to blissful sleep. You'll have more time with your family and you will have the clarity and direction so you can grow and flourish. Call 1300-643-229 now and start building momentum.